So, we've been talking a lot about like the whole concept of still owning physical media, and whether it's CDs or vinyl or cassettes or whatever it is that you listen to, right? And about a year and a half ago, I traded in my old Toyota 4Runner for a 2023 Honda Pilot. 4Runner was great. It was a great kind of guy vehicle, tough guy vehicle, right? Man's man vehicle, but with increasing demands with elderly parents and grandkids and stuff, it just kind of it wore out its usefulness for me, and I had to go get something that was a little bit more economical for family type stuff. So I went and got the Pilot, and lo and behold, the Pilot does not have a CD player. So I went from having like hundreds, not hundreds, but I would always have at least 100 CDs in the car at all times that I would just kind of revolve in and out and just play constantly. You never have to worry about taking them out until they're done, right? You pop one in, you go drive to the store, you turn off the car, you start the car back up, fucking CD plays right where you left it off. It takes no thought at all other than, well, what CD am I going to play next, right? And it worked out well for someone like me who's constantly reviewing and having to listen to new music all the time. So I would always, either before I'm getting set to review something on the channel or on the webzine, or after I already have, to put them in the car and then keep them in like regular rotation for a while. And I would change up CDs in the car all the time, put some old new ones in, take the old ones out that I've already listened to a bunch of times. And that was for years. That's what I did. Now all of a sudden, I'll turn my video. Now all of a sudden there's no, and forgive my little kind of dusty dash here. God, it looks even worse on camera. As you can see, there's no CD slot. So now we got this kind of dashboard thing here, or this entertainment center, whatever you want to call it. And there's nothing. You can't play CDs here. And when I bought this vehicle, I asked them. I said, "Is there any way I could either, just connect? Because I've got 3 iPods. Got 3 iPod Classics. Got 3 of these bad boys. 1, 2, and 3. 2 of them are totally full. This one probably has maybe 20 gigs left to fill. That's the newest one. I just keep buying. One I've had is the original one, and the other 2 I have bought used, and they still work, right? So I'm probably gonna need to buy another one. And I asked the sales guy, I'm like, is there a way that I can kind of just, because they all come with plugs, can I plug it directly into the media player here and play my iPods? Oh yeah, it'll work. Yeah, absolutely. I said, could I even, and this is the first thing I asked, could I even get like an external CD drive and plug that into the car and play CDs to it? Oh yeah, no problem. No, none of the above work in this vehicle. I went and bought like 3 different portable CD, little CD drive players. None of them worked. The car's entertainment center, which is a Bose, didn't recognize any of them. To make even matters worse, I couldn't even hook up any of my iPods to the car with a wire, right, with a connector, because the iPod Classics are too old for this vehicle. So the only iPods I think were one of the more recent Nanos. Those I can plug into the USB. No issue there. I don't own any of those. So that was out. This car also doesn't have an auxiliary plug, because the iPod Classics do. Normally, if you want to plug in iPod Classic into some other kind of speaker system, you plug the auxiliary cable in, plug it into whatever whatever you have, car or whatever, or speaker system. There's no auxiliary plugs in this vehicle. So that was the first couple of months of me owning this vehicle, and I was pissed because how am I going to listen to my music? Well, I finally figured it out. So basically what you got to do is you got to get one of these little doohickeys, because the iPod Classics don't have built-in Bluetooth or Wi-Fi capability. So you got to buy one of these little Bluetooth Wi-Fi connector things, and these basically plug into the bottom of the iPod. And then what you do is, I got Sirius XM because I got to have something in this car, like when the wife is here, because she don't like any of my music, so I usually just kind of play Yacht Rock Station or 70s on 7 or something like that, whatever. But then what I got to do is I got to do Bluetooth audio and then connect device and make sure this is plugged into one of my iPods, and then it'll show up on the menu. Peter's A52 is my phone, and it'll show up on the menu, and then you press the button for that, it'll connect to that, and it works fine, it sounds fine. And so basically what I just transmit the music from my iPods through the car. Sounds fine, easy to use. The one shitty thing is that, if I go and I plug the, connect to the iPod and I go driving 5-10 minutes to the store, when I get to the store and I'm going to go turn the car off, I have to disconnect the iPod, turn the car off, and then go through the whole thing all over again, because you can't just leave it connected, and then when you turn the car on, it'll go and find it and start all over again. It never does. So I literally have to go and connect it again, and sometimes it doesn't catch right away, and so it's annoying beyond belief, but I deal with it, and because it's really all I have. It sounds great. The stereo system of the car is great. So when I do get it set up, when I get it hooked in, it's awesome, but it's not ideal, because now I don't have the CD, so I never know like what's playing. I pick the album, of course, but I never know what the song is unless I go and look at the iPod, which when you're driving is not really ideal. I used to just pick up the CD case and hold it up quickly. It's a little bit easier to read. And now also it's like I have all these thousands and thousands of albums on these iPods, and it's like I have to remember what the newer ones are that I want to be making sure I listen to when I'm in the car or at the gym. So now what I have to do is on my phone, I have like a notepad, and there I have to put all the newer releases that I've just added to the iPod to make sure that I remember to go and find them and listen to them. Otherwise, I'll never remember, because each iPod has, like I said, thousands of albums. And now the even shittier thing is that the middle iPod, this bad boy right here, this one is a couple years old. This one now, because when you connect the doohickey thing, it saps the battery life like you would not believe. So like literally, like maybe it gets half the battery life it would normally give you if you weren't using that. If like you were just connecting headphones to it or something, like wired headphones, because it does. You can do wireless, but you have to use that connector thing. So this one here, my middle one, now has like no battery life. The only way I can use it is if I plug this into like a CD player that has an iPod port, and it'll play fine. But once you take it away from that power source, it holds no battery whatsoever. So I can't even listen to it here in the car, because as soon as I plug the transmitter into here, I may charge it, it may say full battery. As soon as I plug the transmitter into, hit play, within like a minute, battery's gone. So I can only use this one now plugged into another like CD player thing with a port for it. So it makes this useless. And I can't just say, well, I'll just put all this, because all the stuff that's on this was from an older version of iTunes, and once I filled this up, I had to erase all of that, take it off out of my iTunes and off of my hard drive, so then I can go and start up a new one again. So I know it's on here, and I could replicate all that if I really wanted to. Do I really want to? I don't know, because I'm almost 60 years old. This is getting late to be doing all this stuff. But yeah, so that is the kind of shitty nature of cars nowadays. And I couldn't even go and have a CD player put into this, because it would mess up the car's warranty, and it would probably fuck with this entire system that I have, because the Bose does not make anything for cars with CD players anymore. So I can only hope that at some point down the road, automakers wisen up a little bit for all us old dinosaurs and start making cars again that have CD players, and if they do, maybe down the road I'll trade this in for something else. We'll see. But yeah, it is kind of annoying. But the good thing is I still have my music in here, which is nice. I don't have CDs cluttering up the car, but I don't mind that at all, because I feel like there's something missing in this vehicle, and what's missing are all my CDs. Because it's nice to be able to kind of, hold them up and look at them and just flip through a bunch and say, okay, I'll listen to that one today, put it in, and occasionally peek over at the track list. Now I have none of that. So it's just, I know what the album is when I put it in, but I put it in and I hear it, and that's it. So it's not quite the full package. I know, I'm ridiculous, I know, but I'm an old physical media guy, and it's hard for me to get used to this. So anyway, that's my little music for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.